Orí agbéraga fún àgbẹ̀, orí àdúgbò àjà fún. Ẹlẹ́dàá mi màmá gbàgbé mi yẹ o, bá màmá jà o. Mondo yìí kápá, apá ò kápá. Mondo yìí kápá, apá ò kápá. Mondo yìí kò ṣí, apá ò kò ṣí. Mondo yìí kò ṣí, apá ò kò ṣí. Mondo yìí kápá, kò ṣe bínú kò sí. Ayé, ayé. Bébé mo mọ̀ báyé, káyé máa mọ̀ bá wa jà. Aṣọ yìí, mo máa bá ya mọ́ wa lára. Ayé ọ̀rẹ́ mi láyé máa bẹ̀. Ayé tilẹ̀, ayé tuntun, ayé máa ká mọ́ra. Ayé. Àtòrí láyé, tó bá lọ síwájú, àwọn lọ sẹ́yìn.
To everyone joining us on this broadcast this hour, I want to welcome every one of you to this beautiful time on the African Portal Radio TV International. As we'll be hosting one of our very own in the studio, we have one of our very own, Dr. Kunle Awotiku, is with me live in Pretoria, South Africa, that will be having this conversation together. It's going to be a lovely time. We know what there's a lot of things going on in the world today when it comes to terms of jobs. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people doesn't have opportunities to get a good job. A lot of people finish university, they don't have a good job. And that is why we are putting one of the very own in the studio, on the spotlight this night to have a conversation on the way out of this problem. As you are joining us, please share, like, comment. Let's have this beautiful conversation with this genius. Dr. Awotiku is live on the African Portal TV International. If you are just stepping in, please watch, like, comment, let it go viral. I'm expecting a lot of people to join this conversation this hour. Please kindly join us together. We can, together we will. It's going to be a Royal Rumble show on the African Portal Radio TV. Let me take time to greet everyone all over the world. Africa, Dumela, Ashe, Moloi. In northern part of Africa, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In East Africa, Abarisa is night already in East Africa. Abarisa. In West Africa, hello. In Nile Yoruba, as you are joining us, please share, like, comment, let it go viral. Your time on this program is not in vain. It's going to be a beautiful time. Those of you that are looking for a job, this is opportunity. We already dish out some of the job opportunity that is available in Ibadan. We already send it on our post, on our social media, so especially on our WhatsApp. So if you are looking for a job, there's a lot of job opportunity that will be available on this program this night, as I will be hosting Dr. Kunle Awotiku on the African Portal Radio TV International, that will be having this conversation together. Please join us, watch it, like it, comment, let it go viral. It go Yoruba. Ní tìyín ìbàjẹ́ òní báyọ̀ ọ̀nà méjì lètò yóò gbà lónìí á ṣèdí mọ̀ lágbéwá sójú òpó ètò tí àjọ tí ó máa dún tí ó máa dùn tí ó máa dodo lójú òpó ètò yóò máa lágbágbágbá yóò máa lágbàgbà rè yóò máa lásìkò yóò máa lásìkò lò lójú òpó ẹ ní dààmú ẹ ní lọ́gbọ̀n ẹjọ́ lọ ká gbogbo àgbáńlá ayé ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé Dr. Kunle Awotiku ló wà lójú òpó ètò lónìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ń kíra mi délé, èmi náà ni ọmọ wọn nílùú Ìjẹ̀bú Igbó, èmi lọ pápá dámọ́ ń tọ́ fọ́mọkùnrin bọ́lẹ̀bọ́lẹ̀ ọmọ sísè sísọ nkaribi kọ́lé sí ọmọ oníyàn ọjọ́ kẹfà tí í ṣerúkú lẹ́lẹ́ tòjó orí tiẹ̀ jẹ́ láti lè yá mi èmi ló gbẹdẹ́pá bí ẹ̀kún bàbá mi ò sí nílà àjàsọ́ tí bá ń bẹ́ ń lé àdúgbò ẹ̀ràn fún mi jẹ ọmọ orí mo ló sì lèmi ọmọ ají fọ́rẹ́ṣì tẹ̀jẹ̀ ọmọ ají fọwọ́ tiẹ̀ ṣe tí ó jẹ ọlọ́run ọba lóbi ọba tó lọ́la ọbẹ̀ ìyọba àgbọ̀ba láàánú ọ̀yẹ́ òrìṣà àmì jọjọ tí ń ṣàwọn lóde ọ̀sán lóòrùn ọba tó ní ọba tó ní mí ọba tó ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọba tó lópin ọba káàdà ọba tó mọ̀ pin ayé wa ọba tó mọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ayé wa ọba tó ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ ayé lọ́wọ́ tó ń ṣí tí ń ti oníkọ́kọ́rọ́ tó ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ Jákọ́bù òun náà lálágbára òun wà. Thank you very much those of you joining us. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a beautiful time in the studio as you are joining us. Please share, like, let's go viral. It's going to be a beautiful studio with Dr. Kunle Awotiku on the African Portal TV here in Pretoria, South Africa. So if you are just stepping in, your comment is very, very important on this program. Please comment, share, like, let it go viral. The more you comment, the more you give this show opportunity to move faster. And the more you share, the more you give a lot of people opportunity to see this show. So please, this program, let it go viral. You can do that with us on the African Portal Radio. This is your one-stop media house where everyone have a say. It's going to be a lovely time. Thank you so much, Dr. Kunle. I have to step out for you to have more opportunities to stay on this program because of the network constraint on your side. So I have to step out to give you more opportunity and to direct more signal to your side. And that is why I have to step out of this program. So if you are joining us, here in Victoria, South Africa, and it's happening right now on the African Port Radio TV International. To those of you that you are joining us, thank you very much for the pleasure of your time. I really appreciate it. Oh, this morning we have a beautiful conversation, Dr. Awotiku, on our program, Lorile on King FM 103.9 FM Ibadan. Dr. Awotiku, I have to step out to make sure that I send a lot of signal to your side for us to be able to have a smooth conversation. I can see that there is a network constraint on your side, and that to step out then for you to have more strength on your side. Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this, and I really, really appreciate you joining us on this program. As I was saying earlier on, we have a beautiful
Pleasure.
conversation with you this morning on King FM 103.9. This morning with Dudu Yemi Oreke on our show, Lorile. Let's take it a bit after the order because we have a lot that we have to trash out on this program. But before that, let me quickly put you on the spotlight. A lot of people will be watching us that would like to know who you are, where you are, and the position you hold in the society.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Dari. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, yes.
Okay, good, good. Of course, I want to say thank you for having me on King's FM this morning. And it's great to be here at this time. My name is Dr. Kunle Awotiku. I'm the MDC of Uniplan Integrated Services Limited. It is a management consulting firm that is based in Nigeria, domiciled in Ibadan, or your state, Nigeria. And we cut across the nation and we take our trainings outside the nation. We take it out to some African countries, and thus far, it's been an impact empowering the youth. Are you there, Mr. Darisa?
Very much. We're going to make sure that it's not going to be kind of very easy. I know network can be very crazy, but we pray that we have a smooth conversation tonight. If you are stopping onto this show, please like, comment, let it go viral. This is Dr. Kunle Awotiku on the African Portal Radio TV International. I'll give you a background of Dr. Awotiku as he already tell us a bit about himself and what he's doing and his organization. But before that, Dr. Kunle Awotiku, a lot of people will be listening to us. A lot of people knows you. A lot of people know who you are. Tell us a bit about your background, where you come from, and what attracts you to what you are doing currently.
Okay, so I studied agroeconomics and extension from University of Technology here in Nigeria. And I discovered strongly that one thing is missing in our career path, and that is personal discovery. Okay, so I studied agroeconomics and extension, but I have interest in communication. And then I discovered when I did my internship with Skybank then, that there are a lot of reasons why Nigerian youth do not have a great job. For instance, I was privileged to be in the human resource department of Skybank then, and I had a lot of first-class graduates being asked, tell us about you, and they do not know how to define themselves or introduce themselves or make a definition of who they are. And I discovered strongly that there is a challenge in that line. And that took me to developing the youth and gradually started from empowering the youth, trying to get them a job. And today it has become a management consulting firm.
Wow, wow, wow. Let me just take it. Let me take it a bit after the order because this is very key, and this conversation tonight is going to go viral because we have a lot of people suffering from this. It's a kind of general disease that most of the youth they are suffering from it. You went to University of Ladoke Akintola University in Nigeria, in Oyo State, and you study a Greek extension, but now you are not actually practicing in that field. You are in another field entirely. Let's quickly look at it. How do you discover yourself and when do you discover yourself?
Okay, so I noticed while I was growing up that I love to stand in front of crowd. I love to just be the center of attention. I love to have people look at me and hear my voice. And so when I was in secondary school, that was when I discovered it. But I didn't really take it so serious. But at 200 level in the university, I discovered that I wrote a particular poem. I wanted to just write just to cause chaos. But everyone was like, who wrote this? Who wrote this? And from them, I was called. And before you knew it, I had to give some presentation. And everybody started liking it and they were like, whoa, this is a great one. And it's amazed me that Before I finished school, that is during my internship, I started training core members. And so my delivery or my self-discovery started through these processes. Nonetheless, it started when I was in the secondary school, but of course, as a child, I did not really value it. But one thing I discovered that can make people discover themselves is that you can look at what is your anger, what is your passion, and what is your interest. Your API can actually be a good part to discover the real being or your real self.
Hmm. Wow, wow. I wanted to talk about that APL again. That is a very beautiful one. Let's quickly take it from there. Quickly define
So,
that a bit to people that will be joining us that don't understand what it's all about. Kindly break it down a bit.
okay, so I said one of the things that can make a man to have the right self-discovery is the API. And what I mean by API is the anger, the passion, and interests. And the anger is actually a positive anger,
Hmm.
meaning what is it that you do not like in the society? What is it that when you see people do it, you feel something in you tells you can do it better? For example, communication for me. Excuse me. Thank you. Communication for me was more of a thing that I love to do. In fact, I've been to about 4 programs today here in Nigeria. And this is my
Hmm.
fifth just today. So
Hmm.
speaking, impacting lives, helping people is my thing. So if you want to understand who you are, you want to get the best of what you carry, you look at your anger. What is it that when people do it, you just feel they're not doing it well and you can do it better? And the process of trying to think that you can do it better, it can become a strength. It can become what you can use, and it can become that thing that people can celebrate you for. I share this with people that what we
Hmm.
carry on our
Hmm.
inside is more than what we look forward to on the outside. I repeat that. What we carry on our inside is more than what we look forward to on the we have something called potential, and our potentials on our inside is a big strength that can make us to discover our true self. And that is why in some of my definition for potentials, I like to say that potential is far better and greater than credentials. So I studied agri-economics and extension, and today I'm into communication. Today I've written 23 books. Today I'm a part-time lecturer of mass communication. I train people on how to speak and write, but yet I studied agri-economics and extension, my first degree. So it is
Wow, wow,
important for
wow.
every being to discover themselves. Like I said, the anger. What is that you okay? What took me to human resources actually was my experience in my internship. I believe that the people that have good grades automatically get good jobs. That was what we're made to believe in school. We're made to believe that once you have a good grade or once you have
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
good
Indeed.
score, you are going to get a good job. That was what we're made to believe. But my experience taught me that it is
Hmm.
more than that. Getting a job is more than the Y, the X on the university.
Hmm.
It goes to some deeper things out there that were not even taught in school. Most schools don't teach you how to attend interview. They don't teach you how to write CVs. They don't teach you how to write cover letters. And so I discovered that there are bigger things and better things that can make us get good jobs. So for my discovery there, I found that I was angry that a first class product from a university could not describe herself well. And she could not respond to the
Hmm.
questions that she asked. And here I was, that I was from a state university with a second class lower grade. And I knew that I know more than what the lady was saying. So I knew that was a challenge somewhere, and I had to go for that. So what took me to this was my anger, my passion to communicate, and the interest I have in helping lives.
Hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, let's take it a bit after the other. I'm enjoying myself and I'm trying to multitask at the same time to get more people. I'm getting a lot of messages. A lot of people are speaking to me. A lot of people want to be part of this conversation. conversation. As you are joining, share this program. I'm expecting a lot of people to join us, most especially those of you that you are struggling to get a job. This is a very good opportunity for you. You're going to learn a lot of things out of this program tonight, and this program is going to bless you in your journey as you are moving on in life. So please kindly join us and let's do it together. Together we can. We have Dr. Kunle Awotiku live on the African Portal Radio TV here in Pretoria, South Africa. Dr. Kunle, let's quickly look at the issue facing most of the people. People spend years in university, and you realize, let me use Africa as a case study. Africa is a continent whereby we have billions of graduates in Africa yearly. But when it comes to when Africa want to embark on any project, Africa now look for expatriate from outside Africa to conduct those projects, most especially road constructions and stuff like specialized graduate those field that they are in Africa, but they never call them or they never use them. But you will be surprised that the job that is given to expatriate from outside Africa, they end up using the Africa, Nigeria, for instance, or Africa to do the job. What is causing that?
Well, what I would call it is called self-belief. I don't know if you get that. There is this adage that says that you are not really honored in your own town, that a king is not honored in his own town. You see, one of the greatest challenges we have around is ability to trust and believe in what is ours. Let me give a very good example. I'm a wellness coach, and I do a lot in elderly living for people to have good elder lifestyle. And I was in a program today, and I was sharing with them one of the things that can make them to be well, to be healthy, to live well, to live long. And a particular lady came from another country. And because she's a white lady, a whole lot of youths there almost didn't want to listen to what I had to say in that line, believing that because she's a white lady, she's going to know more than me in that line. And when I saw that coming, I didn't argue it. I didn't fight it. I just smiled it over. So she went, got to a part, and she was like, so I will get back to you on it. So when I got the privilege to speak, I said, well done, madam, for what you said the other time. That was a good one. Thank you for coming to bless us from Singapore. And that was very awesome. But you know what? You actually said you forgot something the other time. I think I have a little knowledge on that. Can I say it? And then she was like, whoa, that would be awesome. And that's where I started from. And she was actually talking about combinations of some fruits that can help hormonal imbalance. And my research, I've done a lot in that line. And before you knew it, I started talking and everybody was like, oh, so he would have even said that to us from the beginning. Then I smiled. And that was it. So it's the challenge is we tend to believe more in other tribes, other people, other persons of the country, believing that they are from a developed country. I'm sure you noticed that in South Africa, a whole lot of youths that are doing well there are from Nigeria. In the United Kingdom, a whole lot of people leading the parastatals are from Nigeria. And I always ask people, a goat in Nigeria is a goat in America. The difference is the environment.
Indeed.
It is not the location. It is not the location that determines their location. It is basically the disposition to the location. So the challenge is that we have a lot of youths that are great, but the environment chokes them. The environment makes them feel that they are less worth of who they are. And that becomes a challenge. And so we need to begin to believe in what we have. We need to begin to believe in what is ours. And we need to believe that we can take it further. And that's going to be a great way to solve all this challenge.
Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. You actually putting a petrol into this fire, and the fire is burning in me because there is so much I want to engage you on today. But let me quickly take you back. Don't let me take it out of the content. Let me quickly take it back. You've wrote a Tell me your first book, what motivates you, and what are you expecting that book to do to the people in your community or in your country?
Okay, so my first book was called Fixation of Greatness. That was my very first book, Fixation of Greatness. And I wrote that book basically to tell everyone that there is greatness on your inside. When I was growing up, I actually had a challenge, and the challenge was that I was told that I cannot read and write. I had a medical condition that I cannot read and write, and that was the experience. That was what it is growing up. I couldn't really read, I couldn't really write. But I discovered that most of the time, it is what we say to ourselves and what we believe that happens to us. Every creation starts from the mind. Before we express in the hand, it starts from the mind. And so I accepted what I was told for a longer period of time until I said to myself, but if truly I cannot read and write, how come I can read small and I can write small? So that means if I can read small and I can write small, I can then do better. And that was the progression. That's how I started. And that was what birthed Fixation of Greatness, meaning fixing your greatness. And I wrote that book. I wrote a few things in it. And from there, it went on to become a motivational book. And then I started writing wisdom words. That's quotations. Quotations like errors are not terrors, but they are mirrors for adjustment. Every setback is a setup for a comeback to have a step up. A man that can think is a man that can link. If you can link, you will not as think. You know, words like that. I started writing in. I discovered that I love rhymes, and I started using my rhymes, you know, to move on. Take a ship to have your lift. You know, for you to go on the flight, you need to sit tight. You know, all of those words then. And then gradually maturity set in, and I started giving the definition to it. And then I wrote a particular book, which is one of the major books I wrote for the youth then. And that is becoming the best candidate for that job. And the reason I wrote that book is to let Nigerian youth know that they can have a good job no matter the grade they have. And to prepare them on how to attend interviews. Because you. I was off. I hope I'm back.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Continue.
Am I back in the house? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Continue. Okay, to everyone else, we're having a beautiful, lovely time here with Dr. Kunle Awotiku, having a conversation about his career, his achievements. He's a writer, he's author, he's also a speaker. He's one of the great motivational speakers in Africa. Doing so
The
well
network is bad. Am I
and
back?
his work I've caught as well.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back now. You can continue now. We can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm not hearing you very well, but I think I'm good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I wrote that book and I said I wanted to share some few questions of what people can likely meet. For example, you have questions like, can we meet you in an interview? And a lot of Nigerian youth, especially, will say something like, yes, you can, which is wrong. You hear something like, tell us about you, and the person is saying, you already know about me on my CV. It's wrong. So from my experience and my research, I discovered that can we meet you is basically saying, sell yourself to us. It's basically saying, pitch yourself to us. Tell us why you should be the one that will be considered. And so I went into research and I discovered that one of the four major things that they want to hear from you as a candidate is your name, because from research, somebody's first name can be another man's surname. So they want to hear your name the way it is on your CV. They want to hear your qualification without necessarily mentioning your grade. Another thing that affects a lot of people in looking for jobs is that they get carried away when they talk about their grade. They say something like, I finished from Ladoke University of Technology with a strong 2-1, very close to first class. You know, you hear amazing things and then you smile. You know, a strong 2-1, very close to first class, and you're actually talking to a third class product. Or maybe you are third class and you're speaking to a first class product, and then you say, oh, I have a strong one. You know, it can go off. So I discovered that in my process, that what they really want to hear is not even the grade. They want to hear your qualification. They want to hear your name. They want to hear your work experience. Work experience. You know, let me quickly say this to the youth. Listen to me. That one of the greatest things that affects people from applying for jobs is I hear something like, I'm applying for a job and they're telling me that I should have 3 years working experience. You know, I hear that a lot and I smile. And then you say a lot of graduates say something like, I don't have 3 years working experience. I'm a fresh graduate. Are you still hearing me, please?
I'm hearing you. You are okay. We are good.
I like to know if we're good. Continue. Are we good?
We're good. Continue, please.
Okay, good.
Continue,
thank you.
Please.
Then you hear something like, I'm just a fresh graduate. Where do you want me to get the years of experience from? But unfortunately, a lot of you do not know that there is a difference between job experience and work experience. There is a difference between post-NYC experience or post-school experience and experience. See where it's an experience. It's an experience. And all these experiences count as experiences that can be used in order to get good jobs. So you see people say something like, I do not have 3 years working experience, that's why I didn't apply for that job. No, you didn't apply for the job because of ignorance. It's not because of the experience, it's ignorance. You know, so what experience is one of the things they want to hear when they say, can we meet you? The last one they love to hear is the skills. What can you do? What are you good at? And the skills should be relevant to the job you're applying for. You know, my company is, we're doing a recruitment at present for some organizations, and then a lot of youths that apply for the job, they want to do the job, but they don't have the skills, the cognate experience. Some don't have the skills. You know, it's amazing that you see youth, and I don't know, saying this makes me feel so terrible, but I just must say it. You see a graduate that cannot operate the system. Like a graduate that cannot use Microsoft Excel. Right now, my company is trying to plan a program for the youth. We want to see how we can train some people on Excel, because how on earth will graduates do not know how to use Excel, do not use how to use CorelDRAW, do not use how to use PowerPoint, and they are looking forward to a good corporate job. It's going to be difficult. And so some of the challenges and some of the questions I've answered, or one of the questions, I have about 5 questions I always love to answer when it comes to an interview that people can really meet. But I think I've answered one now. I'm looking at the time on it. So the first I just answered now is, can we meet you? They need your name, they need your qualification, they need your work experience, and they need your skills. for the rest. I don't know.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm not actually
Kunle
hearing you
Awotiku.
so
Thank you
audibly.
so
I
much.
don't
Can
know.
you see me?
I'm trying to check my setting here. It's not so audible in my ears.
Okay, but everything seems to look okay on our side here. Everything is fine on our side. Everything is okay here.
So I think it's from my end here. It's not so audible. But okay, and my pod is not right. My AirPod is not right there. It's on the car. But I feel like I can still do.
Let's continue with the conversation. There's so much thing.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can add any code or any feed here. Sorry. I'm trying to see if I can get a piece here because I can't hear well now. Can you hear me, please?
All right, those of you joining us, thank you very much. We just have to step out to get a better for Dr. Kunle Awotiku, as he's explained a lot of things about how to get a better job and how for you to improve yourself, most especially when you are looking for a job. A lot of people go for a job interview and they flop. Why? Because they don't have the preliminary knowledge of what is going on. And that is why we put this program together to tell you a bit and to connect you to people that can really inspire you and open your eyes to many things when it comes to getting a job. Let me quickly tell you a bit about Dr. Awotiku. Let me quickly go through some of his profile. Dr. Awotiku, he brings on board over 14 years of business consultants and personal management experience. He's a public speaker that believes in the power of words and consistently operate on the mission statement, your word determine your worth. He is the popular known as Mr. Word. He's on a mission to rise over thousands. This journey has begun as he has trained over 5,000 persons to be speaker and has mentored over 380 speakers who are doing great. Okay, he has addressed over 5,000 youth across the nation and some parts of Africa. He's a woman resources expert, an international certified life coach, a career builder, a motivational speaker, a wellness coach, and entrepreneur. People, welcome with me, Dr. Kunle Awotiku. Once again, we'll put him back on the spot. We'll quickly step out for us to get a better signal. We have to do that. For us to make sure that so kindly lower the volume. I'm hearing myself back now. Are you using a earphone now?
Myself?
Yes.
No,
Because I'm hearing myself back
in the studio. Yes, I used initially, I removed it, but now I think I'm fine. I can hear you well now.
It's bringing the
It's bringing
voice.
voice.
I think it's fine now.
I think it's fine now.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself back
Yeah,
in the
I'm
studio.
hearing myself back in the studio.
Okay, just
That's
put the
that
earphone
that's
on.
what.
Put the
I think
earphone
that should be
on. I
better.
think that
I
will be
think.
better. I think
You said I should have the earphone on.
It was okay before.
it
I'm
was okay
hearing.
before. I'm hearing.
Yeah, put the earphone
Yeah,
on.
put the earphone on.
Put the
Okay.
earphone on.
Put the earphone on.
Normally I use my
All right,
AirPod, but it's
everyone join
not.
us. We really
Everyone join us. We really
appreciate your time on this broadcast tonight. It's happening right here, right now. And it's a beautiful time here in the Pretoria here in South Africa. Can you still hear me
Can you
now?
still hear me now?
Is it better now?
Better, but I'm still
Better, but
hearing
I'm still
myself back
hearing
in
myself back.
the video.
Wow. I believe that's network.
Your voice is buzzing
Your
back.
voice is passing back.
Okay.
Wow, wow,
Okay.
wow.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
take it a bit
Let's
after
take
the
it a bit
order. What
after
we
the
can
order.
do
What we
is
can do is
probably
probably
I meet you.
I
Let me mute your line where I'm talking. Okay, then when you are about to talk, then I will release the button. All right, those of you joining us, thank you very much for the pleasure of your time on this broadcast this hour. It's a beautiful
beautiful
time here. We
time
are
here. We
actually
are
giving you
actually
things that
giving
will
you
open
things
your
that
eyes
will
to
open
the
your eyes
opportunity
to the
around you,
opportunity around
and you
you,
are not valuing them.
and you are
So
not
that
valuing
is
them.
why
So
we're going to
that
put
is why
Dr.
we're going to
Kunle
put Dr.
Awotiku back
Kunle
on the
Awotiku
spotlight
back on the
to tell us
spotlight
about
to tell us
his
about
job.
some of the opportunity.
All right, Dr. Kunle Awotiku, please let us know
Explain to
what you
us,
have.
especially in the area of jobs.
Can you still hear me?
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. But the network is breaking sort of. But I can hear you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Go ahead.
Let's talk about the job
Let's talk about the
opportunity.
job opportunity.
I'm not comfortable
I'm not
because I'm
comfortable
hearing
because
myself
I'm
back.
hearing myself back.
I'm not comfortable
I'm
about
not
it.
comfortable about it.
I'm not sure what the
I'm not
problem
sure what
is.
the
Okay.
problem is.
You know what?
You know what?
Step out.
Step
I'm
out.
coming
Step
again.
out. I'm coming again.
Okay.
Just step out and come in again.
Just step out and come in
Everyone
again.
joining us, thank you
Everyone joining us, thank
very
you
much. We are working
very much.
to the We understand the network. We cannot do anything about it because it's out of our control. But thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Please, your comment is very important on this program because this is a sensation program that is going to help you and that is going to support you, especially when it comes to getting a job. If you are looking for a good job, then you need to listen to this program. This program is put together to assist you in getting a good job. So please kindly join us. Let's do it together. Let's roll it together. Let's jig together. Everyone joining us, I appreciate your time on this broadcast this night. And I want to say thank you very, very much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Your time on this program is very crucial to me. And I want to please share this program. Share it. The more you share this program, the more you give this program opportunity to go. Dr. Awotiku, you are on mute. Can you unmute yourself for people to be able to hear you? Kindly
Yes, I've unmuted now. Can you hear me? I've unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you now.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, let me quickly check. Let me quickly check something. Do you have another phone?
Do you have another phone?
Are you listening to another phone?
Are you listening to another phone?
How many phones is with you there?
How many phones is with you there?
Just one.
Okay, do this for me.
Okay,
remove the earphone.
Remove the earphone.
From the phone. Remove it from the phone.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
All right.
I can hear you. I'm hearing you, but I'm hearing myself back. Put the volume of that phone down.
What I want to do, let me see if I can reduce the volume.
A bit. Put the volume. Lower the volume.
I think it should be better now. How about it now?
Okay. It's okay. Let's check now.
It's okay. Let's check now. Let's check.
I'm still hearing myself, and I'm not. Yeah, we're not
hearing myself.
I'm not comfortable.
That should be network now.
Okay. I guess.
Is it better?
Let's continue with the conversation. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Let's continue. Okay, everyone joining us, apology for that. We just have to work towards the network on its side, and as well to check the audio, because we have to give you good quality. We have to check the audio quality. Everything was fine at the beginning, but it's just that we have network in the middle. So working towards it to get a better signal from his side, so that we can continue this conversation. The beautiful thing is to have the guest in the studio. The network can be disappointing sometimes, but having said that, that will not stop us not to continue on this program. To everyone joining us, I appreciate your time, and I want to say thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. You are the reason why we come out every day to be on this program, and your support and joining us, watching our programs is actually giving us a lot of encouragement to continue. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted, and I celebrate every one of you. Please, your comment is very important. Kindly send us comments, share this program, like, let it go viral. That is the only thing you can do to also assist and support us on this program. So thank you much for the pleasure of your time. Those of you that you are commenting, watching it, thank you so much. Those of you that you will be watching it later, thank you very, very much. As we put Dr. Kunle Awotiku on the African Portal Radio TV International. It's happening raw right here, right now on the African Portal Radio TV International. Ramon, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Keep sharing it, keep talking about it, keep sending your comment through as well. At the time, we're going to open the line to also receive some calls. If for everyone to join us, you want to ask one or two questions, call us on +275 is the number to call. Call us, let's talk. Call us your conversation. I mean, your question is very important to us. If you can call us on 13358 and we will have a conversation with you on this hour. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Labanjo Abudrahman. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your time on this broadcast. This is Dr. Kunle Awotiku live on the Together about job losses in Africa. People lost job, like doesn't get a good job, graduates looking for a job, going for interview, big time. Some people that a graduate in Africa. I think which is really happening in the education system. Do we have a right educational system to prepare people for the job that is available in Africa? I think that should be another thing that we need to look at. Doctor, let's look at the educational system in Africa. It could have a job interview.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me? I would like to know if you can hear me.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh,
we are hearing you now.
So I can hear that echo. I can hear that echo you're talking about. I don't know. I think it's network. Okay, good.
It's network.
Our educational system is very amazing. Very, very amazing. For me, I share this with people that we're supposed to have career guidance. We're supposed to have people that will guide us rightly when we're looking forward to selecting our courses. But, I can hear we can hear our guest clearly. Do you mean we can or we can't? I can see we can hear
you clearly.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
We can hear you
okay,
clearly.
So thank you. Our educational system is so bad and amazing that people oftentimes do what they're not supposed to do. And for example, we don't have career guidance in school. Everybody just go to school to study one thing or the other. There's nobody that is doing psychometric tests for someone to know what that child is even made up to do. We don't do personality tests. We don't know our temperament. You see a sanguine going for a course that is supposed to be studied by melancholy or a phlegmatic. Nobody's even doing personality trait test. Everybody's just going into, my dad is a doctor. We don't have a lawyer in our family. We don't have a doctor in our family, so we want you to have a doctor. That has been the challenge. So our educational system do not prepare us for the reality. Secondly, our educational system do not understand the place of setting us into the job market. What do I mean by that? I was discussing, I'm a consultant to NYSC, and I get to speak on different orientation camps. And I'll still be speaking in some because they just went to camp now. And I shared with a lot of people that, do you know the numbers of graduates that are being rolled out part-time? The numbers of graduates that are being rolled out part-time is in multiple folds of the opportunities that are out there. And so it becomes highly competitive. But our educational system do not prepare us. All they prepare us for is grade. They don't prepare us for the reality. I don't know if you get that. They prepare us for grade.
Yes, we are getting you.
You will see someone. I remember when I was in school and I discovered that I'm going to graduate with 2-1 and 2-2. That is second class over division. I was almost thinking life is not going to be good at all. Because that was what we were told to believe. That is what we're made to believe. So everyone wants to do runs. Those that can read wants to kill themselves to read. I've been an HR for years now. I still conducted an interview today in my office, and I discovered that there are a lot of Nigerian youth that have grades, but they have first class, they have second class or division, but they don't have anything upstairs. You know, I was asking a lady today that in 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? And she was already saying, I see myself establishing my business. And you want to work in an organization, I want them to recruit you. What are you already telling them? That you're not going to stay up to 5 years. Then I said, okay, in 2 years' time, where do you see yourself? And she said, by then I should have started my business, but it might still be growing small. You know, I was looking at that like, do you really understand what you're saying? So the educational system teaches us the Y, the X. The educational system do not teach us the reality, and it's so painful. Let me say this so you understand me better. Imagine a professor that is teaching how to generate power. Did you get that? A professor in the university that teaches how to generate power, and in his own house he uses generator.
He's using generator.
And he has been teaching people on how to generate power. You know, it's so funny that what we see around is theory and not practical. What we see around is what somebody taught someone that person is teaching another person. We are not even following the trend. By God's grace, I'm a part-time lecturer. I change the norm. I don't teach the usual. What is happening at the time, at the moment, is what we are supposed to use to teach ourselves. You know, I have a lecturer that I know of. He has been teaching a particular subject for over 30 years. And the book he used 30 years ago, that is course notes, is what he's still using till today. Life has evolved, but he himself has not evolved. So the problem is we focus so much on the paperwork, leaving the reality. You know, let me share this. Imagine what would take somebody that studied agric economics and extension be doing in communication if our education system was right. I should be on the farm.
Pathetic. Very pathetic.
But the challenge
Thank you very much.
But the challenge is we only have one big challenge. And what's that challenge? What we experience is that we just go to school based on trying to get a score. Nobody's trying to prepare us for the reality. For someone like me, I should not have gone for agric economics and extension in the first place. What am I doing there? I should have been put into communications and language arts or linguistic or interpersonal relations, you know. But it's unfortunate that what we do is off. Yes, I like the comment I saw now. No, it's just the truth. Let me share with you so you understand very well. You see, there is one thing we've done in the educational system that is so painful. We have cancelled the technical university and we are focusing on polytechnics and universities. Yet we want innovation. I was asking a first-class graduate of physics in my office last week. He wanted to become a physics teacher for a secondary school, and I was asking this young man to tell me his best subject. His best subject, what he loves most in physics. And he was saying it, and in my mind, I was feeling so shy of even knowing that I was a science student or I'm a science student, because he only did what we call a crème la peau. So we focus so much on paperwork We focus so much on credentials and we leave our potentials. And I share this with people. The university is supposed to make our credentials to only be a supporting striker to our potentials. Because our potential is our real credential that will make us essential and influential in life. So the university is supposed to prepare us for the reality. We don't have anything like business proposal in the university. We don't have anything like CV writing in the university. We don't have anything like cover letter in the university. We don't have anything like, okay, when you're stress management in the university. And yet, we learn a lot of theories that is not taking us anywhere. So our educational system needs to be revisited. We need to understand what are we teaching our youth, what are we teaching our students. And another challenge we have is our language barrier. In Nigeria is a big issue. In Africa, it's a big issue. You know, I was saying that online today that
Dr.
yeah.
Let me pitch in there because you are going to a very very important of this conversation. I budget this conversation to be 1 hour. We already exhaust 1 hour, but it's worth it because I know the network failure in between have caused that. But let me quickly take you on this. Let me appreciate everyone that is joining us and talk about what they are saying. Kunle Awotiku say, wow, this is amazing personality test in choosing Olabanjo Abramonse, a local mechanic, to physics. A computer science student who cannot operate computer. You see, it's okay. We identify the problem. One thing that we do on the African portal is that if you can identify a problem, you must
Sorry,
be able to solve the problem.
I can't hear you very well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you clearly. We are hearing you very, very well.
I think because the network went off, I can't hear you very well again.
Yeah. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, but not very well. But what I would do is, don't worry, I will flow. I will get your response. Don't worry. Just go on.
Okay. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, what I want us to do is this. It's a good thing to identify the problem. What is the way out of this? What is the solution to this problem?
Good. For our educational sector to get better, the number one solution is that we must have counselors. The place of counselors have to be recognized. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Can I have you? Can you hear me? Thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
The place of counselors, thank you, have to be recognized. We must ensure that we take our youth to stop the course that follows and suits their traits. You know, it's so amazing that we have people that do not even know who they are. We need to follow them into understanding who they are, what they are carrying, what their potentials, and let us stop this belief system of because I'm a doctor, I want you to become a doctor. The peer pressure from home, the challenge from home is actually a big problem. So we need to get the counselors right. We need to understand the personality trait. Then we need to understand the language. Now, I was talking about the language before the network set in. Let me quickly say this. Do you know that one of the reasons the Chinese, they are moving forward, one of the reasons they are doing well is that, what's it called now? They use their language to learn. It is only in Africa that you hear something that our language is vernacular. We call our language, our own language, vernacular. So if we begin to understand how to speak our language, then we should also know that we don't have to finish the curriculum. That is another thing I have seen that is a big deal in our educational sector. When we have a lesson note, we want to finish it whether there is comprehension or there is no comprehension. We must allow evaluation per time. We must allow evaluation per time. You know, one of the things I noticed in the educational sector in England is that they don't just have their scoring anyhow. There is a test that is not mainly to fail you, but to test whether you understand what you are doing in the class. But in Nigeria, any test is for score. In fact, the students dread tests so much that anytime they hear test, they know that it's for a particular scoring in the class. It shouldn't be. A test is to check your performance. It's to know whether you've done it well or not. It's to know whether you're comprehending or not. And so this is a way forward. Then we need to begin to teach the right thing that will help us in the society. Like CV writing should come into our curriculum. Thank God today we have entrepreneurship. But unfortunately, just like I was telling them in NYC, we have entrepreneurship training the youth on how to learn a skill. But are we teaching them on the business side of the skill? You see someone that learns fashion designing, learns how to sew, but do not learn how to communicate the business. So we need to begin to teach the practical sense of what will happen in the society. For example, when you want to go into a business, what are the things you need? We need to have some of these extracurricular activities in our curricular activities. And if we do that, we can begin to move forward. I like to say to the youth themselves that we need to begin to have personal development. Read books, have mentors, attend seminars, follow people up. For example, now on my page, I try to share things on my page once in a while. If you follow, you will see something cool that will develop you. Some of the books I've written, you can read up. You know, so these are way forward. These are things that we can do that can make us to become better persons and can make us to move forward.
Wow, thank you very much for that point there. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm getting a lot of comments here and it's making me so happy. I'm getting a comment different, and this is a difference between development, the difference between the developing countries. Yes, I will get to that. Let me quickly engage Dr. Awotiku. Dr. Awotiku, you are one of the, you are the MD CEO of the integrated service. You are into communication. For many companies and the rest. A lot of people would like to communicate. A lot of people would like to connect with you. Tell us a bit about your organization, your company, what you do for the community or society or for the country, and how people can get in touch with you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so the name of my company is Untitled Integrated Services Limited. Domicile in the headquarters is domiciled in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. But we cut across Nigeria and some other African parts, other parts of the Africa, and which, of course, South Africa is inclusive now because we are in South Africa with Mr. Dario Luso. And I know that from this, we're going to take it forward. Okay, so one of the things that we can also do, that we do in an organization, we run management consulting, we run recruitment, we outsource, we train, we have professional certification. You know, the other time when you were asking me questions on things that can help us in job development, another way the youth can develop themselves is actually through professional certification. BSc is saturated, having BSc or having MSc is saturated, but you can begin to add skills. You can begin to have professional certifications to what you have. So we run a lot of professional certification in our organization, and then we help people to have their self-discovery. So we have what we call finishing school in Uniplan Integrated Services Limited, where you come in to understand what are you called out for. We call it our finishing school, and we have a program coming up on that. In fact, this coming month, The school is coming up with something very fantastic in that line. And so that's what we do. How can you discover your talent? How can you discover yourself? And for those that want to reach out to us, they can reach out to myself, which is the MDCU. On my LinkedIn is Kunle Awotiku. I believe the name is spelled right there, Kunle Awotiku, Awotiku. On my LinkedIn is Kunle Awotiku. On my Instagram, on my Facebook is Kunle Awotiku. Then on my Instagram is Awotiku Kunle. And the organization is at Uniplan Integrated Services on Instagram. Then for my number, for those that might love to chat, I do a lot of chats. Let me say my email address is also kunleawotiku@gmail.com. But for my WhatsApp, or for those that want to chat with me directly, my number is +234 70 37 87 3678. +234 70 37 87 3678. And courtesy of this program, everyone that chats me in the next 24 hours or send me a mail in the next 24 hours will be getting one of my book. That is courtesy of this program. You'll be getting one of my book, either on employment or on communication. That is, I wrote a book called Speak Out, where I spoke about how to control claustrophobia and electrophobia. And so anyone that chats me, just mention Africa TV, just tell me African TV, and you'll be getting that courtesy of this program. And you'll be getting 2 other motivational books of some of my mentors and leaders. And then if you're in Nigeria, I think this, Mr. Dare will really, really love this one I'm about mentioning. Can I go ahead?
Can go ahead, please. Please go ahead.
Okay, so if you're in Nigeria and you are looking for a job, we have a lot of jobs with microfinance, banking industry, private sectors right here especially in the southwest part of Nigeria, the southern part of Nigeria. So if you are interested and you're looking for a job, just send to that number that I called. Thank you, Mr. Dare Oluson. I'll repeat that. Thank you, Mr. Dare. Put under it, looking for job. Thank you, Mr. Dare Oluson. That's the code. Thank you, Mr. Dare Oluson. And then put down there, I am looking for job. If you're looking forward to this, we're going to see how we'll help you for job opportunities. And then we have a program coming up, which is for a month, a free program coming up for a month. If you're interested in this empowerment program, just send empowerment to that number. Empowerment, anywhere in the world. That empowerment can cut across anybody, anywhere in the world, on how to have financial freedom. So just send empowerment to that number. I believe I want to pause this, because if you allow me to go on and on, I'm the trainer, I'm the speaker, and I can just go on and on and on.
And I'm enjoying that as well. I'm really, really enjoying that. And that is why we put this together. One of the things that the African Portal was stood for is to help people in our community, in our society, to empower people and to put smile on others' face. And you have already heard it to yourself. If you are listening to us, no matter where you are, get connected with this great man. It's going to be a blessing to your life. Just put the code that's already been put in on the space. Dare Oluson, looking for a job. Just send us to him. You will definitely get a job. Dr. Kunle Awotiku, before I let you go out of this program, where do you see yourself in the next coming 10 years in what you are doing currently?
Oh, thank you. In the next 10 years, what I'm doing currently, I see myself as an African giant, helping the youth and taking them from where they are to where they need to be. And that is why I've not stopped being a voice in the society. So in the next 10 years, people have asked me, am I going into politics? People have asked me, do I want to run a campaign? No. But of course, in the next 10 years, there's going to be a foundation, and that is Kunle Awotiku's foundation. And that foundation is going to be what everyone should look forward to. So in the next 10 years, I will ensure that every African youth find their place and make use of their voice. They speak out. And that's my picture. That's my dream. Making the youth to speak out. And so, of course, Kunle Awotiku's foundation would have been able to do a whole lot in that line. There is this thing that it kept coming to my mind that I didn't mention. And immediately you said the next 10 years, where do you see yourself? The question came to my mind for interview, because that's actually an interview question that you just asked me. So you just interviewed me, Mr. Dario Luson. But thank you for that interview question anyway. But nonetheless, there is a question that kept coming to my mind that I feel I need to answer. And that is a question of how much can we pay you? How much can we pay you? How much can we pay you? And what are your strengths and weaknesses? Since I'm speaking to the youth across the globe, I think I need to answer these two questions. How much can we pay you? How much can we pay you? And what are your strengths and weaknesses? It is an interview question that no matter what you want to do, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're looking for a job, people will always ask you this question: how much can we pay you? Please never you mention any amount straight. You can either overprice yourself or you underprice yourself. Respond to the question by saying, thank you, I believe you have an amount you want to pay, or I believe you have a payment schedule. I would like to know it. I believe you have an amount you want to pay, or I believe you have a payment schedule. I would like to know it. And when they insist you should mention an amount, it is important that you carry out a research and use the research to talk to them in range. If your research says they pay 1 million, tell them you're looking forward to a job where they'll pay you 1.2 million per annum. If your research says that they pay 2 million per annum, tell them you're looking forward to a job where they will pay you 2.2 million per annum. Speak a bit above what you know, because it is called power of negotiation. You must learn how to negotiate. Don't say pay me 100,000, pay me 50,000, pay me 500,000. You can either overprice yourself or you underprice yourself. I hope you got that. And when they ask for your strengths and weaknesses, please, they are talking about your skills. Your strengths are your skills, and your weaknesses are things that might affect you on the job, but can also help the job. I just feel I need to quickly answer those two questions because they are major questions in an interview.
Thank you very much. You make my job easy. That is the area I was actually thinking of stepping into. But Dr. Kunle Awotiku, before I let you go, you've been through this and you have empowered a lot of people. I read some things about you. You've developed and you've trained a lot of people. Who are the people that motivate you? Who are the people that you are looking up to that make this journey easy for you?
Thank you so much. Thank you for asking me that question. It's always a great opportunity for me to talk about my mentors too, because you have no right to speak to anyone when no one is speaking to you. I repeat that. You have no right to speak to anyone when no one is speaking to you. So I have my role models, I have my mentors. And one of my role models is late, but his book still speaks to me forever, and that is Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe is one man that made me know that the richest place in the world is the grave. And he's a man that made me know a lot about potentials. I will never forget him. In fact, one of my books titled Maximizing Your Potential Unveiled is actually a secret of my lesson from Miles Monroe. So he's one man I love so much. I respect so much John C. Maxwell. He is my role model. I don't have a privilege of being one-on-one with him yet, but he is my role model that I celebrate so much. Mark Murdoch is another role model that I celebrate so much. I've mentioned a few of those outside Nigeria. Dan Luke is also one. But let me come down home straight to those that have impacted me so much one-on-one. And that is a person of my number one is Fela Durotoye. Fela Durotoye. Fela Durotoye, sir, I use this medium to say thank you again and again and again. And of course, another man that has impacted my life is Nia Desoya. Nia Desoya, sir, I say thank you, I love you, sir. And of course, one of them is late now, but I know one thing, that though he's late, but his memory is forever, just like Miles Monroe that is late. I know he's a blessing to me. Of course, another person that has really touched my life, he is a pastor, but he's also a great speaker, and that is Reverend Deji Olabode. These are people that I look forward to. They really, really help me. They are my mentors. And of course, I read their books. I'm a reader. I'm a voracious reader. I read a whole lot. They say that when you read, you can lead. I try to read a lot. Okay, so I can count on and on. I have a lot of people that impact me. And sometimes I have people that are not speakers that impact me. You know, time will not permit me to mention all their names now. But I
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Dr. Kunle Awotiku, how do you handle disappointment?
Thank you. For me, disappointment, let me start to say that everything that happens to me, I always gauge them by looking at it from the positive side. You know, I want to say thank you to my wife. She always says something to me. She'll be like, "You don't usually think, you don't get disturbed. You're always positive about everything," and that's my lifestyle. So the way I see disappointment, I see it from the positive angle. And so what I call disappointment is disappointment delayed for a better day. I would like to say that again.
Wow.
To me, disappointment is disappointment delayed for a better day. If you disappoint me today, it is only pointing to one thing, and that is that it is not yet time. I don't believe that anything is bad. You know, I always say this to people that when I make a mistake in life, for me, mistake is I took the wrong thing, then I need to go and drop it and pick the right thing. I say that errors are not terrors, but they are mirrors for adjustment. So disappointment is natural, is bound to happen. In fact, if you are not disappointed, then you are a machine. And even a machine can be disappointed, and a machine can disappoint you. So disappointment is good. So for me, I see disappointment as there is a better day or there is going to be a better time. That's where I see it. And so I don't get disturbed.
Okay. Let's take it a bit further. We have just few minutes to round up this conversation. Let's take it a bit further. What is the failure means to you? What is your definition, your personal definition of failure, and your personal definition of success?
You are really taking me deeper and deeper and deeper, because this aspect you're going to, the aspect I love to really talk about. For me, failure is the firstborn of the father of success. I repeat that. Failure is the firstborn of the father of success. That's my first definition of failure. Without failure, you don't know how much you can pass. Because when you score high and you do not fail, you think that's your best. But when you fail and you score better, then you know there is a better version of you. And that is why I said that failure is a fertilizer that grows success. Failure is a fertilizer that grows success. Did you hear that? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you. I'm just talking to the people out in the home. If they are hearing us,
good. I can see you're trying to get people to know whether they are hearing us. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So I said to people that failure is a fertilizer that grows success. If you fail and you fail to rise, then you fail. But when you fail and you rise, then you have not failed. You have only gone on a trail. And when you go on a trail, you can become the trailblazer. I don't believe in failure to be a bad thing. For me, failure is a blessing to have a better score. Failure is a best blessing to do it better. Failure is a lesson to move forward in life. In fact, let me use myself as a very good example. If I did not fail growing up, I will not be a good motivator today. When I go to secondary schools and I go to universities and I speak to youth, I always share with them that I have failed well, and my failing well has made me to also pass well and succeed well. It's good to fail, but don't keep failing. It is good to fail, but don't keep failing. Because when you fail, there is this thing that says that failure is a first attempt. You know, I can't recall verbatim, but I remember the first attempt part of it. In learning, yes, I remember now. Failure is always, someone said, a scholar said, fail means the first attempt in learning. Now, when a child tries to crawl, or a child tries to walk, or a child tries to move, and it falls down, the child has not fallen because the child cannot walk, but the child has fallen because the child has not learned how perfect to walk. And so it's an attempt, it's a first attempt. That you made the first attempt, do not say that that will be the last attempt. It's only saying you are learning. And the more you learn, the more you can earn. So it is good to learn. So I don't believe failure is a bad thing. I love failure. But don't stay failing. That's all.
And the success? And your definition for success?
And my definition for success is that success is that comfort zone that might make you not to become significant. I repeat that. Success is that comfort zone that might make you not to become significant. Because what you call success to another person is the beginning point. And so whatever you achieve, your achievement should not get you carried away. You must be thinking of accomplishments. And so for me, whatever success you achieve today should be accumulated to make you become significant. There are three sisters in life. We have the sister of survivor, we have the sister of success, and we have the sister of significance. A lot of us as youth, a lot of us as persons in life, we are only successful, we are not significant. And so to become significant in life, you need to understand that you need not to celebrate success over and over again. You need to move on. You know, there is this thing we use in psychology called toloposogo. It's actually a technique, a thinking technique, toloposogo. We can go and Google that later and learn from it. The last part says, and so what? So what? You had first class, and so what? You bought Bentley, and so what? You bought a Ferrari, and so what? It means you can do better than that. So my definition for success is that point that you get to be celebrated, launching you to the next level to have a new celebration. That's my definition.
Wow. Beautiful. Kunle Awotiku, I'm really so happy and I'm so excited to have you on this broadcast this night. And it's my great pleasure to have you on board. Before I let you go, what keeps you going and where do you derive your inspiration?
What keeps me going and where do I derive my inspiration is the goal. What keeps me going is the statement that I was told and what I heard, that I am a vegetable. I cannot think, I cannot write, I cannot speak. That was a medical report. So one of the things that gets me going is that I want to prove to the world that no matter the report that they say about you, there is a better person in you, and you can always put people wrong by doing things right. So one of the things that keeps me going is that goal, is that place I want to be. And another thing I love that is helping me is that I want everyone's voice. I want everybody to move out of being a noise to becoming a voice. And so I really want to help, especially youth around me, to know that they carry something on their inside, and that keeps me going. I derive my inspiration, permit me to say, from God, because I've discovered that He's the greatest inspirator. Of course, God Almighty is the greatest creator. He has a lot of creativity, and anytime I link myself with God in the spirit of the better being, I find out that I move on. And so for me, honestly, my inspiration is from God, and secondly, from the things I see around me. I share this with people. Well, no matter what you know, if you add God Almighty to your opportunity, you get goodness. And so you must have a God you serve. I always tell people that, and that's very, very important. You must have the God you serve. So I don't joke with the God that I serve. And the God that I serve is a great inspiration to me. And of course, when I see people around me not doing well, it's an inspiration for me that I can help them to do better and to be better than me.
Wow, wow, wow. I like that response. Dr. Kunle Awotiku, before you go tonight, I know I've been saying that 3 times now, but I still have a lot of
You've actually
questions
said it 5
jumping in my
times.
belly in that. Yeah, exactly. Because the question keep on coming. When I get people like you, I want to exploit them. I want to make sure that I empty them before they get out of my way. Okay, Dr. Awotiku, let me quickly do this before we step out of this place. Let's quickly look at this. One of the great leader in the world, Les Brown. Les Brown says something that the great gift in the world is in the beard. A lot of people are listening to you. I want you to speak to them as a motivational speaker, and I want you to encourage them, most especially how to balance the spirituality, the reality, and the social life. How to balance the three: the social life, spirituality, and the reality of time. I want you to motivate them on that. Then we call it a day from there.
All right, thank you. Let me say it's been awesome anyway. In balancing reality, spirituality, and the social life, I would say that for you to be a great man, for you to be successful in life, you must learn how to balance it. The reality, obviously, is that you must be knowledgeable. And when you say you're knowledgeable, you must have the knowledge now. To know means that you have the knowledge now. And you don't joke with the spirituality because everything that happens in the physical is first controlled in the spiritual. I share that with anybody that tries to believe it. I'm a researcher. I've researched a lot of religions, and I've discovered that what we call spirituality is meant from being religious. Everything that happens in the physical finds an expression in the spiritual. And so you must understand how to balance your spiritual being. It is very, very important. And you must learn to be social. I've discovered that most of the time, some persons are just a fanatic, and they're not just doing what they need to do rightly, believing that, you see, I'm going to give an example. I see a lot of people in Nigeria going to church to pray about the particular situation, but they don't do anything about it and praying. And I smile because it amazes me that the scripture do not say pray alone. The scripture says watch and pray. In fact, it's so amazing that the scripture did not start from prayer, it started from watching. And if I want to break that watching down, permit me to quickly break it because our time is fast spent, but I can quickly break it to say that to watch, the W says walk. You must walk. The A there is saying align yourself. When you're watching, you walk, then you align yourself in the right path. And then when you align yourself in the right path, you ensure that you're teachable to learn more as you move on, because if you're not teachable, you'll not be able to grab more. And then you must be ready not to be complacent. You must comply with what is happening there. The teachable is being trendy. You must want to follow the trend. And you must be ready to comply. And when you do all of this, you must ensure that you put yourself in the right place to get the help. So that means you launch out. That means you put yourself in the right house, in the right company. So if the scripture has said we should watch, it's saying we should do a walk first before we pray. But unfortunately, what we do is that we pray first before we work. And so we put the latter to the former and the former to the latter, and that's why we don't get the rightful result. And so for me, to balance life, you must learn to face the reality, you must learn to be spiritual, and you must learn to be social. You hear people saying something like, I can't go to a certain gathering. I smile. You just need to be disciplined. You can go to some gathering, but be disciplined. If you're not social, you say you don't want to be technical, you don't want to be a social man, then how do you want to go global? What is not shown is not known. So you will remain local and never go global if you are not social. I repeat that. You will remain local and never go global if you are not social. So you need to learn to balance all so that you can move better in life.
Wow. It is a great pleasure having you on board, Dr. Kunle Awotiku. I really appreciate time on this broadcast, and I want to thank everyone that joined us. Thank you very much for the pleasure of time. Keep watching the African Portal. Keep talking about it. We are the BBC of Africa by the grace of God. Our voice is going to go all over the world. So this is where we make things happen. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Everyone joining us. I remain yours, Oludare Oluson. Thank you very much for joining us and God bless you. Dr. Awotiku, I just want you to round up by telling them your name, the position you hold in the society, then we call it a day.
Thank you, thank you. I must say thank you to you once again for having me in South Africa there. Of course, my name is Dr. Kunle Awotiku. Some people were asking that the doctor is the doctor of what? Okay, so I've moved from agric economics, I moved to communication and it's the doctor of public administration. All right, so my LinkedIn profile, like I mentioned, is Kunle Awotiku. On Instagram, Awotiku Kunle. On Facebook, I'm Kunle Awotiku, and my mail is kunleawotiku@gmail.com. Then I gave my WhatsApp number, especially for those looking for a job. I really want to do that to help people here for this channel. I really want to do that. And so if you want to chat me up or you want to work and get empowerment, it is +234 7037873678. It's been an awesome time. I actually planned 1 hour too, but I can see that we use more than 1 hour 30 minutes. This is 1 hour 36 minutes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kunle Awotiku. I really appreciate your time on this broadcast and I'm enjoying myself as well. At the same time, people are sending messages to me privately that I must make sure that I allow you to speak a bit of Yoruba before we step out. Iti gbọ́ wá lẹ̀ Yorùbá, ojú òní tì yín, ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín. A sọ nínú sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan wípé èdè wa ṣe pàtàkì. Nígbà mo kéde yépa kan sọ gírámà lásán. Ó tún dá sásá lẹ́nu wa ojú òní tì wá ìbàjẹ́ òní bá wa àjọṣewò òní lójú lágbára ìlú orúkọ mi ò yí padà orúkọ tèmi náà lolúdáre Olúsan ọmọ olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Samuel Olúṣẹ́gun Olúsan èmi náà pápá dámọ́ntàn fọmọkùnrin bọ̀lẹ̀bọ̀lẹ̀ ọmọ sísìn sísọ káríbi kọ́lé sí ọmọ ní ọjọ́ kẹfà tí ń ṣe irúkú lẹ́lẹ́ tó jó orí tiẹ̀ jẹ́ láti lè yá mi èmi náà gbẹ́dẹ́pá bí ẹkùn bàbá mi ò sí délà àjàṣọ tí bá bẹ́ẹ̀ lé àdúgbò ẹ̀ràn ọmọ mi jẹ́ ìlú Ìbàdàn náà ti bí mi lọ́mọ Ìbàdàn ní olúlé ọ̀dẹ́ ìlú alágbàlá ológòdó kẹ̀rí lójú ogun wọn débọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìjagunlabí lára wájú Ìbàdàn wọ́n jẹ́ tó fi kára wájú tó fi kó wọn lẹ́rú ọmọ agbósásá mọ́sá ọmọ ayàyè àríra alágbára ìgbà rẹ̀ Dr. Kunle ẹ bá ń káwọn èèyàn Yorùbá kọ́ mọ̀ pé gbọ́ Yorùbá rò pé èkó ní ìlú.
Títọ̀ ni mo tọ́ títò ni mo tò bọ́ ṣe ní máa tó mo tọ́ ló pàkẹ́rẹ́ ọ̀nà òun ló mú mi débi tí mo wà lónìí tí mo fi bára mi ní South Africa mo mà ní mo kí yín o ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ yín náà ló ń kí yín o òun náà ni onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ dókítà Kunle Awotiku ọmọ onílù kọ̀lé ìṣẹ́bẹ́ mi ọmọ agbágbó òkè ta ọmọ agbágbó òkè yarọ ọmọ olùgbà ṣeré ká tó èmi ọmọ olúbí pọwọ́ mi lọ́mọ gbogbo ògùn ìṣẹ́bẹ́ mi náà ni ẹni tán ni o máa sọ ọba mi lédùà tó fún mi lórí ọ̀fẹ́ tí mo fi ń sọ tó fi ń bẹ bá a ti ń lù ló ń dún ọba ló fi sí wa lẹ́nu kò kì í ṣàwa náà la mọ̀ ọ́ sọ kí máa kì í ṣàpẹ́rẹ́ wa kì í ṣe mọ́ wa o bẹ́ẹ̀ kì í sì ní ṣe gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la tó gbọ̀n kí nìkan la mọ̀ a mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní pé tá a bá ní ká ṣe bọ́ tí ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a yóò mọ̀ rí bọ́ tí ń rí mo pé pèdèpèdè mo kí gbogbo pèdèpèdè mo kí gbogbo sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀dá tó ń bẹ lórí ìrìnlẹ̀ pé mo ní pé a máa jú wa ṣe ni o ẹ ṣé o ẹ ṣé fún àsìkò tẹ́ ẹ fún mi ẹ ṣé fórí ọ̀fẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ fún mi ẹ má jà gbàgbé o ẹ máa já a máa sọnù nítorí bẹ́ẹ̀dá bá ń sọnù ẹ̀dá ò ní sọnù ó di dandan ká sọnù àní a máa ronú lásán ṣùgbọ́n ẹ já a sọnù tá a bá ń sọnù a ò ní sọnù ẹ ṣé o.
Ṣẹ́yìn èèyàn ti gbọ́ ẹni pé dẹ́ndẹ́ndẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ní bẹ́nu àwọn eléyìí nígbà wọ́n ń bọ̀ lé ayé Ọlọ́run fagbádọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ó kó sí wọn lọ́rùn ní lórí kan máa kó bọ̀ lé ayé ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́ bí Yorùbá ṣe dá káká tó dá sàṣà lẹ́nu wọn ojú òní tìyí Dr. Awotiku ní dààmú lágbára ìdùmàdà àjọṣe wa kò ní dọ̀rọ̀ ẹni ká sọnù ká má bàa sọnù ká sọnù ká má bàa sọnù èèyàn ti gbọ́ ní gbogbo àgbáńlá ayé ọmọ tó bá bí lẹ́ẹ̀bàdàn tí ò bá amọ̀rọ̀ sọ ọmọ ẹ ti mọ̀ pé ọ̀rígínà agánran Ìbàdàn òun làwọn ẹgbọ́n Yorùbá bó ṣe dá kásá tó dá sásá lẹ́nu wọn nílùú Ìbàdàn tí mo ti wá dáńfò ní ṣiṣẹ́ rẹ láì ní kọ̀ǹdọ́ tẹ bá rọmọ ní kọ̀ǹdọ́ tó bá dún wájú ní bàbá rẹ̀ tí ń pariwo máwọn èèyàn iṣẹ́ ló mọ́ la o iṣẹ́ mọ́ la lálẹ́ yìí mo ké tantan mo dìbò fẹ́ràn mi olúbọ̀nbọ̀ tìrì bọ̀bọ̀ ire ayọ̀ àtàláfíà kó máa bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan kan wá gbé lówe lówe náà ń lùlù àgídìgbò ọlọ́gbọ́n ní ń jo ìran àwọn ọ̀mọ̀ràn ní mọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀mọ̀ràn tẹ́ wọlé sójú òpó ètò adúgbò adúpẹ́ pé òkun lọ́wọ́ yín ojú òní tì yín ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ ń bá wọn ròde ìbànújẹ́ ìbàjẹ́ òní wọlé yín ẹ̀ ní dààmú ẹ̀ ní dàrúkà lágbára Èdùmàrè bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ wà pé a fi ọ̀bẹ nú bẹṣu ni ọ̀tẹ́lẹsẹ̀ a sì bẹ̀nà wò ẹni bá dáwọ́ bọ́ọ̀dì kan là ní dé bá lé o a lọ a padà wá ẹ pàdé wa lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ètò ń bẹ lórí rédíò yìí lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la ní ìlànà fàdágbé ètò ìrọ̀ sí adúpẹ́ adúpẹ́ pé ọkùnrin ojú òní tì yín ẹ máa jẹ gbádùn àwọn orin táwọn mú wá fún yín Dr. Awotiku gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ń wáṣẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wáṣẹ́ ẹ tètè pè wọ́n ẹ tètè sọ ọmọ ẹ sọ mọ́ wọn létí aṣọ ẹ máa pè wọ́n iṣẹ́ ó ti yapa sọ́dọ̀ wọn ọkọ̀ tó ń gbéṣẹ́ lọ ti dànù sọ́dọ̀ títí wọn ẹ pè wọ́n kí n ṣe iṣẹ́ tó dáa iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n sanwó oore ẹ pè wọ́n ojú òní tì yín ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín ayọ̀ yóò ní dìbànújẹ́ ẹ ní sọkún ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣeun ó dijọ́ mi ó dọjọ́ rẹ ó dàbọ̀.
Ó dàbọ̀.
ẹ ní dààmú lára Èdùmàrè ojú òní tì yín ire ní ti yín ayọ̀ tì yín ayọ̀ tọmọ Ọlọ́run ojú òní tiwa ọmọ ọ̀run ológun náà tó go tẹ bá gbà kọ̀ǹfàmù wọn ò yá balabẹ lónìí á sọyún ọjọ́ bí ọjọ́ rẹ ìbàjẹ́ òní pa wa ojú òní tiwa ẹ máa gbádùn di African Portal ẹ máa ṣí ta ọmọ ọ̀run ẹ ní dààmú ojú òní tì yín gbogbo tẹ ẹ ṣe pátápátá ń rí àwọn èèyàn sì ń gbóṣù bàbàǹbà fún yín ẹ máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe lọ ojú òní tì òkè ọ̀là tẹ́gùn yìí ẹ̀ ní jábọ́ lágbára Èdùmàrè ẹ láyọ̀ nílé ẹ láyọ̀ lọ́ọ̀dẹ̀ ẹ yẹ̀yàn ẹ máa gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú ó dọjọ́ mi ó dọjọ́ rẹ̀ ẹ máa jẹ́ ìgbádùn títí a fi pàdé lọ́jọ́ mi bàbá Sànní Aládé la fi wọlé àwọn náà láwọn fi kúrò lójú òpó ètò yìí ẹ máa fi Sànní jẹ́ ìgbádùn títí a fi rí yín jọ mi ó dijọ́ mi ó dọjọ́ rẹ̀ oorun ayọ̀ lásùn á ríra níre láyọ̀ àtàláfíà á ní ṣe déédéé lẹ́yìn ara wa o ìbàjẹ́ ò sì ní bá wa á ní sọkún láyé á ní agbára Èdùmàrè ẹ máa gbádùn Sànní ẹ máa fi Sànní ẹ máa fi jẹ̀gbádùn títí di ọjọ́ ọ̀la tá a tún pàdé Sànní rèé lójú òpó ètò ẹ máa gbádùn Sànní lọ títí a fi pàdé á ríra níre láyọ̀ àti lálàáfíà níbùkún níre tí sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ méjì bá ríra wọn kì í rọrùn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ méjì tán bá ríra wọn kì í rọrùn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ náà ló pàdé sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ lójú òpó ó ti wá dànù sẹ́yìn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ pàdé sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yẹ ṣáà máa jẹ̀gbádùn orin Sànní ẹ máa fi Sànní ẹ máa fi ṣara rede ó dàárọ̀ ọ̀la.
Synchro system. Synchromatic sound. Tropical beats to reggae.